they go round and round, and the painted ponies go up and down. We're captive on a carousel of time. We can't return, we can only look behind from where we came and go round and round and round in the circle game.
I that please some, try all, of joy and terror, of good and bad, that makes and unfolds error. Now take upon me in the name of time to use my wings. Impute it not a crime to me, or my swift passage, that I slide o'er 16 years, and let my growth untried of this wide gap, since it is in my power to overthrow law. I witness to the time that brought him in. Your patience disallowing, I turn my glass, and give my scene such growing as you had slept between. Leontes leaving, the effects of his fond jealousy so grieving that he shuts up himself. Imagine me, gentle spectators, that I now may be in fair Bohemia. And remember well, I mentioned a son of the kings, which Florizel I now name to you, and with speed so paced to speak of Perdita, now grown in grace, equal with wondering. What of her Zeus, I list not prophecy, but let time's news bring forth what it is meaning. A shepherd's daughter, and what to her tears, which follows after, is the argument of time. Of this allow, if ever you spent time worse, you know, if never, yet that time herself doth say, she wishes earnestly you never may.
16 springs and 16 summers gone now. Cartwheels turn to car wheels through the town. And they tell you, take your time, it won't be long now, till you drag your feet to slow the circle down. And the seasons, they go round and round, and the painted ponies go up and down. We're captive on a carousel of time. We can't return, we can only look behind from where we came and go round and round and round in the circle game. And go round and round and round in the circle game.
I pray thee, good Camillo, be no more importunate. 'Tis a sickness denying thee anything, a death to grant this.
'Tis 15 years since I saw my country. Though I have for the most part been aired abroad, I desire to lay my bones there. Besides, the penitent king, my master, hath sent for me, to whose feeling sorrows I might be some allay, which is another spur to my departure.
As thou lovest me, Camillo, wipe not out the rest of thy service by leaving me now. And of that fatal country, Sicilia, prithee speak no more, whose very naming punishes me with the remembrance of that penitent, as thou callest him, and reconciled king, our brother, whose loss of his most precious queen and children are even now to be afresh lamented. Say to me, when sawest thou the Prince Florizel, my son?
It was 3 days since I saw the prince. He is of late much retired from court, and is less frequent to his princely exercises than formerly he hath appeared.
I have considered so much, Camillo, that he is seldom from the house of a most homely shepherd. A man, they say, that from very nothing and beyond the imagination of his neighbors is grown into an unspeakable estate.
I have heard, sir, of such a man who hath a daughter of most rare note.
That's likewise part of my intelligence, but I fear the angle which plucks our son thither. Thou shalt accompany us to the place where we will, not appearing what we are, have some question with the shepherd, from whose simplicity I think it not uneasy to get the cause of my son's resort thither. Oh, prithee, be my present partner in this business, and lay aside the thoughts of Cecilia.
I willingly obey your command.
Ah, my best Camillo! We must disguise ourselves.
I saw her sitting in the rain, raindrops falling on her. She didn't seem to care. She just sat there and smiled at me. Oh, I'm so lucky. And I knew she could make me happy.
Happy, happy, she could make me very
Flowers
happy.
in her hair,
In her hair.
flowers everywhere.
I love the flower girl.
Oh, I don't know just why. She simply caught my eye.
I love the flower girl.
She seemed so sweet and kind. She crept into my mind.
To my mind.
I knew I had to say hello.
Hello, hello.
She smiled up at me.
How do you do?
And she took my hand, and we walked through the park alone. And I knew she could make me happy.
Happy, happy, she could make me very
Flowers
happy.
in her hair,
In her hair.
flowers everywhere. Ooh.
I love the flower girl.
Oh, I don't know just why. She simply caught my eye.
I love the flower girl.
She seemed so sweet and kind. She crept into my mind.
To my
I have served Prince Florizel, and in my time wore 3 pile. But now I am out of service. This next one, ladies and gentlemen, is called Moon Shadow by Cat Stevens. If you know the song, sing along. Oh, I am being followed by a moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow. Leaping and hopping on a moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow. And if we ever lose my hands, lose my plow, lose my lands, yes, if I ever lose my hands, oh, if I won't have to work no more. Back to the chorus. I am being followed by a moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow. Leaping and hopping on a moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow. Wrap it up. Moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow. Oh. My father named me Autolycus, who was likewise a snapper-up of unconsidered trifles. Gallows and knock are too powerful on the highway. Beatings and hangings are terrors to me. Therefore, for the life to come, I sleep out the thought of it. A prize. A prize!
Let me see. Every wether 11 tods. Every tod yields pound and odd shilling. With 1,500 shorn, what comes the wool to?
If the spring hold, the cock's mine.
Let me see. What must I buy for our sheep shearing feast? 3 pounds sugar, 5 pounds currants, rice. What has this sister of mine to do with rice? Oh, but father hath made her mistress of the feast, and she lays it on. But she has made me 24 nosegays for the shearers, 3-man song, all good ones, but they are all of them means and bases, and one Puritan amongst them. He sings psalms to hornpipes.
Oh! The devil I was born!
The name of me!
Oh! I am beaten, sir, and robbed, and these detestable rags put upon me.
Oh, here, come, lend me thy hand. I'll help thee. Lend me thy
Oh,
hand.
softly, dear, oh, tenderly, dear sir. Oh,
Alas, poor soul.
oh, softly, dear sir, softly. I fear my shoulder blade is out. Oh!
Oh, now can't stand.
No, softly, dear sir. Oh, gently, dear sir. Good sir. Oh, you have done me a charitable office.
Dost thou lack any money? I have a little money.
Oh, no, good sir, good sweet sir, no, I beseech you. Offer me no money, I pray you. That kills my heart. Oh.
What manner of fellow was he that robbed you?
A fellow, sir, that I've known to go about with droll my dames. I knew him once a servant of the prince. I know not for which of his virtues it was, but he was certainly whipped out of the court.
Ah, his vices, you would say. There's no virtue whipped out of court.
Vices, I would say, sir. I know this man well. Some call him Autolycus.
Out upon him! Prig, by my life, prig! Oh, he haunts wakes and fairs and bear baitings.
Very true, sir. He. That's the rogue that put me into this apparel.
Not a more cowardly rogue in all Bohemia. If you would but make yourself look big and spit on him, he'd have run.
I must confess to you, sir, I'm no fighter. I'm false of heart that way, and that he knew of me, I warrant him.
Well, how do you now?
Much better than I was, sweet sir. I can stand, and I can walk, and I will even, take my leave of you.
Oh, well, prithee, fare you well. I must be up with thy spices for our sheep shearing.
Cross to you, sweet sir. Your purse is not hot enough to purchase your spice. I'll be with you at your sheep shearing, too. Once upon a time, you looked so fine, you threw the buns of dime in your prime. Didn't you? People call, say, beware, doll. You're bound to fall, and you thought they were all kidding you. You used to laugh about everybody that was hanging out. Now you don't talk so loud. Now you don't seem so proud about having to be scrounging for your next meal. How does it feel to be on your own, to be without a home, like a complete unknown, like a rolling stone? Wow thing, you make my heart sing. You make everything groovy. Wow thing.
These your unusual weeds to each part of you does give a lie. No shepherdess, but Flora peering in April's front. This your sheep shearing is a meeting of the petty gods and you, the queen on it.
Sir, my gracious lord, to try at your shrooms that not becomes me. Oh, pardon that I name them. Your high self, the gracious mark of the land, you have obscured with swains wearing, and me, a poor lowly maid, most goddess-like pranked up. I should blush to see you so attired, swoon. I think to show myself a glass.
Oh, I bless the time when my good falcon made her flight across thy father's ground.
Now Jove afford you, cause to me the difference for his dread. Your greatness hath not been used to fear. Even now I tremble to think your father by some accident should pass this way as you did. Oh, the fates, How would he look to see his work so noble, proudly bound up? What would he
Apprehend nothing but jollity. My desires run not before mine honor, nor do my lusts burn harder than my faith.
Oh, but certain resolution cannot hold. When it is opposed, it must be by the power of the king.
My prettiest Perdita, with these forced thoughts, I prithee darken not the mirth of the feast. Your guests are coming. Lift up thy countenance as if it were the day of celebration of that nuptial which we two have sworn shall come.
Oh, Lady Fortune, stand you auspicious?
See, your guests approach. Address yourself to entertain them sprightly, and let's be red with mirth.
You are on the road, must have a code that you can live by, and so become yourself, because the past is just a goodbye. Teach the children well, their father's help did slowly go by, and feed them on your dreams, the one they get, the one you'll know by. Don't you ever ask them why. If they told you, you would cry. So just look at them and sigh, and know they love you. Your parents well, their children's help did slowly go by, and feed them on your dreams, the one they pick, the one you'll know by. Don't you ever ask them why. If they told you, you would cry. So just look at them and sigh, and know they love you.
Fie, daughter. When my old wife lived, upon this day, she was both pantler, butler, and cook, both dame and servant. She would serve all and welcome all. She'd sing her song and dance her turn, and now, here, her face afire with the labor, and that thing she took to quench it, she would to each one sip. Come, quench thy blushes, and present thyself that what you are, mistress of the feast. Come on, and welcome us to your sheep shearing, as your good flock may prosper.
Sir, welcome. It is my father's will that I should take on me the hostship of the day. You're welcome, sir. Give me those flowers there, Dorcas. Here's for you, hot lavender, mint. These are for you. Grace and remembrance be to you both, and welcome to our shearing.
Shepherdess, a fair one are you. Well you fit our ages with the flowers of winter.
Sir, the fairest flowers of our season are our carnation and stricken gillivores, which some call nature's bastards.
Wherefore, gentle maiden, do you neglect them?
For I have heard it said there is an art which in their pious with great creating nature.
And so over that art, which you say nature made, is an art that nature made. But this is an art that does add to nature, change it rather, but the art itself is nature.
So it is.
So then make your garden rich in gillivores and do not call them bastards.
Here's flowers for you, hot lavender, mint, savory, marjoram. These flowers are of midsummer, and I think they're given to men of middle age.
I should leave grazing where I have your flock and only live by gazing.
Out! Alas, you'd be so lean the blast of January blow you through and through. Now, my fairest friend, would I had some flowers of the spring that might become your time of day. And yours, and yours.
Oh, what you do still betters what is done. Oh, when you speak sweet, I'd have you do whatever. When you sing, I'd have you buy and sell so. And when you do dance, I wish you a wave of the sea that you might ever do nothing but that. Move still so, and owe no other function. Each you're doing so singular in each particular crowns what you are doing in the present deeds that all of your acts are queens.
Oh, Dorcles, your praises are too large.
Oh, but come, our dance, I pray. Your hand, my pretty fair. So turtles pair that never mean to part.
I'll swear for him.
Nothing she says or seems but smacks of something greater than herself, too noble for this place.
He tells her something that makes her blood look on it. Come on, strike up.
Mopsa must be your mistress. Mary Guy like to enter kissing with.
Come now, in good time.
The heart, a word. Now we stand upon our manners.
Come, strike up.
What fair swain is this which danced with your daughter?
They call him Doricles, and he boasts himself to have a worthy feeding, but I have it upon his own report. But I believe him, and he says he loves my daughter, and I think so too. For never gaze the moon upon the water as he'll stand and read my daughter's eyes as 'twere.
She dances featly.
Oh, so she does anything. though I reported that she should remain silent. If young Doricles do light upon her, she will bring in that which she not dreams of.
Oh, master, if you couldn't hear the peddler at the door, you'd never dance again after the tabor and pipe. No, the bagpipe could not move you.
He sings several tunes faster than you'll tell money. He utters them as he had eaten ballads, and all men's ears grew to his tunes.
I love a ballad! But even if it be doleful matter, merrily set down, or even a pleasant thing indeed, and sung lamentably.
He had songs for man or woman, of all sizes. He had the prettiest of songs for maids, so without bawdry, which is strange.
And where some stretch-mouthed rascal named Mischief, he makes the maid to answer, "What do we no harm, good man?"
Oh, this is a brave fellow.
Oh, believe me, thou talkest of an admirable, conceited fellow. Has he any unbraided wares?
He has colors of all the rainbows, colors of the rainbow. Why, he sings them over as there are gods and goddesses.
You would think a smock were a she-angel. He so chants his sleeve hand, and the work about the square on it.
Oh, prithee, bring him in, and let him approach singing.
Forewarn him that he uses no scurrilous words in his tunes.
To Scarborough Fair, hardly remember me, one who lives there. She once was true love of mine. Tell her to make me a cambric shirt,
Deep forest green,
parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme.
a sparrow in silver
Without no seams nor needle work, then she'll be true love of mine.
unaware of the carrion call.
Are you
Going to Scarborough Fair.
parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme? Remember me, true one who lives there. She once was a true love of mine.
If I were not in love with Mopsa, thou would take no money of me. But being enthralled as I am, it would be a bondage of certain ribbons and gloves.
I was promised them against the feast, but they come not too late now.
He has promised you more than that, or they'd be lying.
Come, you promised me a tawdry lace and a pair of sweet gloves.
Have I not told thee by the way that I was cozened and lost all my money?
And indeed, sir, there are cousins abroad. Therefore it behooves men to be wary.
What hast here? Ballads?
Oh, pray now buy some. Oh, I love a ballad in print alive, for then we are sure they are true.
Here's one to a very doleful tune of how a usurer's wife was brought to bed at 20 money bags of a burden, and how she longed to eat adder's heads and toads carbonadoed.
Is it true, think you?
It's very true, but a month old.
Bless me from being a user.
Why should I carry lies abroad?
Pray you now buy it?
Let's have more ballads first, and then we'll buy the other things anon.
Here's another passing merry one. Of a fish that appeared upon the coast on Wednesday. It was said she was a woman who was turned to a cold fish, for she would not exchange flesh with one that loved her. It is very pitiful, and as true.
Is it true too, think you?
It is very merry, and a very pretty one.
Oh, let's have some merry ones.
Ah, quite merry here. It goes to the tune of 2 maids wooing a man.
Ah.
'Tis in request, I can tell you.
We can both sing it. If thou'lt bear a part, thou shalt hear. 'Tis in 3 parts.
We had the tune on it a month ago.
I can bear my part. You must know, 'tis my occupation. Have at it with you.
If you're down and confused and you don't remember who you're talking to,
Concentration slips away, 'cause your baby's so far away. Well, there's a rose in a fish-stick glove, and the eagle flies with the dove. And if you cannot be with the one you love, honey, love the one you're with. Love the one you're with. Love the one you're with. Do 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 do.
Bring away that pack after me, wenches. I will buy for you both. Peddler, let's have the first choice. Girls, follow me.
And you shall pay well for him. I begin to say good night, and I heard my child in prayer. Please bring me some scarlet ribbon. Scarlet ribbon for my hair.
Master, there is 3 carters, 3 shepherds, 3 neatherds, and 3 swineherds that made themselves all men of hair. They have a dance which the wenches say is gallantry of gambles.
Away with you. Hair be enough homely foolery already. 'Twill none on it. I know, sir, we weary you.
You weary those that refresh us. Pray, let us see these 3s of herdsmen.
By the state door, sir.
Is it not gone too far? 'Tis time to part them. How now, fair shepherd, your heart is full of something that does take your mind from feasting. sooth, when I was young and handed love as you do, I was wont to load my she with knacks.
Old sir, I know she prizes not such trifles as these are. The gifts that she looks upon me are packed and locked up in my heart, which I have given already, but not delivered. Oh, hear me breathe my life before this ancient sir, who it should seem have sometime developed.
Let me hear what you profess.
Do, and be witness to it.
And this my neighbor too?
And he, and more than he. Men, the earth, the heavens, and all that, if I were crowned the most imperial monarch thereof most worthy, were I the fairest youth that ever made I swerve, had force and knowledge more than was ever man's, I would not prize them without her love.
Fairly offered.
This shows a sound affection.
But my daughter, say you the like to him.
I cannot speak so well, nothing so well, no, nor mean better. By the pattern of my own thoughts, cut the purity of his.
Shake hands. A bargain. And, friends unknown, you shall bear witness. I give my daughter to him, and will make her portion equal his. Come, thy hand, and your hand, daughter.
Soft, Swain, a while, beseech you. Have you a father?
I have, but what's of him?
Then knows he of this?
He neither does nor shall.
Methinks a father is at the nuptial of his son, a man that best becomes the table. The father should have some counsel in this business.
For some other reasons, my grave sir, which 'tis not fit you know, I not acquaint my father of this business.
Let him know it.
No, he must not.
Prithee, let him.
No, he must not.
Let him, son. He shall have no need to grieve at knowing of thy choice.
Come. He must not. Mark our contract.
Mark your divorce, young sir, whom son I dare not call. Thou art too base to be acknowledged. Thou, a scepter's heir that thus affects a sheep hook. Thou, old traitor, I am sorry that by hanging thee I can but shorten thy life 1 week. And thou, fresh piece of excellent witchcraft,
Oh, my heart.
I'll have thy beauty scratched with briars and made more homely than thy state. For thee, fond boy, if I may ever know that thou dost but sigh, that thou no more shalt see this knack, we'll bar thee from succession. Mark thou my words. Follow us to the court. Thou, churl, for this time, though full of our displeasure, yet we free thee from the dead blow of it. And you, enchantment, if ever, henceforth, thou these rural latches to his entrance open, or hoop his body more with thy embraces, I'll devise a death as cruel for thee as thou art tender to it.
Even here I'm done. I was not much afeard for once or twice. I was about to speak and tell him plainly that the same self-sun that shines upon his court hides not his visage from our cottage, but looks on alike. Will it please you, sir? Be gone. I told you what would come of this. Beseech you of your own state. Take care of this dream of mine. Now being awakened, I'll quit it no inch further, but milk my ooze in me.
How now, father? Speak, ere thou diest.
I dare not speak, nor even think, nor dare to know what I know. Oh, sir, you have undone a man of 63, who sought to fill his grave with ease. Yea, to die upon the bed my father died, to lie near his honest bones. Now, some hangman shall put on my shroud and lay me where no priest shovels in dust. And you, wicked wretch, that knewest this was the prince, and wouldst adventure to mingle faith with him? Undone! Undone! Ah! If I might die within this hour, I have lived. Die when I desire.
Why look you so upon me? I am but sorry, not afeard, delayed, but nothing altered. What I was, I am.
My lord, you know your father's temper. At this time he will allow no speech, and hardly will he endure your sight as yet, I fear. Until the fury of his highness settle, come not before him.
I not purpose it. Camillo?
Even he, my lord.
How often have I told you 'twould be thus?
Lift up thy looks. For my succession, wipe me, father. I am heir to my affection.
Be advised.
I am, and by my fancy.
This is desperate, sir.
So call it. But it does fulfill my vow. I needs must think it honesty, Camillo. Not for Bohemia, nor the pomp that may be there at Gleans will I break my oath to this my fair beloved. Therefore, I pray you, as you have ever been my father's honored friend, when he shall miss me, cast your good counsels upon his passion. This you may know, and so deliver. I am put to sea. With her who here I cannot hold on shore. And most opportune I have a vessel that rides fast by, but not prepared for this design.
I would your spirit were easier for advice or stronger for your need.
Heart, Perdita, I'll hear you by and by.
He's irremovable, resolved for flight. Now were I happy, if his going I could frame to serve my turn. Save him from danger, do him love and honor, purchase the sight again of dear Cecilia and that unhappy king, my master, whom I so much thirst to see. Sir, my lord, I think you know of my services to your father.
Very nobly have you deserved.
Well, my lord, if you may please to think I love the king, and through him what's nearest to him, which is your gracious self, embrace but my direction. I'll point you where you shall have such receiving as shall become your highness, where you may enjoy your mistress, marry her, and with my best endeavors in your absence, your discontenting father strive to qualify and bring him up to liking.
How, Camillo, may this almost a miracle be done?
Have you thought on a place whereto you'll go?
Not any yet.
Then list to me. Make for Cecilia. There present yourself and your fair princess, for so I see she must be, for Leontes. She shall be habited as becomes the partner of your bed. Methinks I see Leontes opening his free arms and weeping his welcomes forth. Ask thee, the son, forgiveness as 'twere in the father's person.
Worthy Camillo, what color for my visitation shall I put up before him?
Sent by the king your father to greet him and to give him comfort. Sir, the manner of your bearing toward him I'll write you down. What you must say, that he shall not perceive, but that you have his bosom there and speak his very heart.
I am bound to you.
Prosperity's the very bond of love, whose fresh complexion and whose heart together affliction alters.
One of these is true. Affliction may subdue the cheek, but not take in the mind.
My good Camillo, she's as forward in her breeding as she is in the rear of our bird.
I cannot say 'tis a pity she lacks instructions, for she seems a mistress to most who teach.
Your pardon, sir, for this I'll blush you thanks.
Oh, my prettiest Perdita. But, oh, how shall we do? We are not furnished like Bohemia's son, nor shall appear in Cecilia.
My lord, fear none of it. It shall be so my care to see you royally appointed. One word.
What a fool honesty is. I have sold all my trumpery. Not a ribbon, glass, pomander, brooch, table book, ballad, knife, tape, glove, shoe tie, bracelet, or horn ring to keep my pack from fasting. And they throng who should buy first, as if my trinkets had been hallowed and brought a benediction to a buyer. And my fool grew so in love with the wench's song that he would not stir his petty toes till he had both tune and words, which so drew the rest of the herd to me that all their other senses stuck in ears. You might have pinched a placket. It was senseless. No hearing, no feeling but my sir's song and admiring the nothing of it. So that in this time of lethargy I picked and cut most of their festival purses. And had not the old man come in with hubbub against his daughter and the king's son, I had not left a purse alive in the whole army.
Nay, 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 nay. But my letters, being there so soon as you arrive, shall clear that doubt.
And those that you'll procure from King Leontes
shall satisfy your father.
Happy be you, all you speak shows fair.
Who have we here? We'll make an instrument of this. Omit nothing may give us aid.
If they have heard me now, why, hanging!
Oh, fear not, man. Here's no harm intended to thee.
I am a poor fellow, sir.
Why be so still? Here's no one will steal that from thee. Yet, for the outside of thy poverty, we must make an exchange.
Are you in earnest, sir? I smell the trick on it.
dispatch, I prithee?
Indeed, I have had earnest, but I cannot with conscience take it.
Unbuckle, unbuckle. Fortunate mistress, take your sweetheart's hat and pluck it over your brows. Muffle your face, dismantle you so you may to shipboard get undescribed.
I see the place so lies that I must bear a part.
No remedy. Have you done there?
Should I now meet my father, he would not call me his son.
Nay, you shall have no hat. Come, lady, come. Farewell, my friend.
Adieu, sir.
Oh, Perdita, what have we twain forgot? Pray you a word.
What I do next shall be to tell the king of this escape, and whither they are bound, wherein my hope is I shall so prevail to send him after them, and I will follow.
Fortune speed us. Thus we set on Camillo to the seaside.
The swifter speed, the better.
I understand the business. I hear it. To have an open ear, a nimble eye, and a quick hand is necessary for a cut purse. But the prince himself is about a piece of iniquity, stealing away from his father with his claws at his heels. If I thought it were a piece of honesty to acquaint the king with all, I would not do it. I hold it the more knavery to conceal it, and therein am constant to my profession.
See what a man you are now. There is no other way but to tell the king she is a changeling and none of your flesh and blood.
Nay, but hear me.
Nay, but hear me.
I'll go too, then.
She being none of your flesh and blood, your flesh and blood hath not offended the king. So, your flesh and blood is not to be punished by him. Show him those things you found about her, those secret things. All but what she has with her. That being done, let the law go whistle. I warrant you.
I will tell the king. All, every word.
Very
And
wise.
his son's friends, too.
Very wisely, puppies.
Well, let us to the king. There be that in this fardel which he shall scratch his beard for.
And pray heartily he be at palace.
Though I am not naturally honest, I am sometimes by chance. How now, rustics? Whither are you bound?
To the palace, and it like your worship.
Your affairs there? What? With whom? Anything that is fitting to be known? Discover.
Oh, we are but plain fellows, sir.
Are you a courtier, and it like you, sir?
I am a courtier, whether it like me or no. Seest thou not the air of the court in these unfoldings? Receivest thy nose not the court odor from me? I am a courtier cap a pie, and one that will either push on or pluck back thy business there, whereupon I command thee to open thy affair.
Sir, my business is to the king.
The king is not at the palace. He's gone aboard a new ship to purge melancholy and air himself forth. If thou beest capable of things serious, thou must know the king is full of grief.
So 'tis heard. About his son who should have married a shepherd's daughter.
An old sheep-whistling rogue, a ram tender, to offer to have his daughter come into grace. Some say he shall be stoned, but that death is too soft for him, say I. Draw our throne into a sheepcote? All deaths are too few, and the sharpest too easy.
Has the old man e'er a son? Do you know? And it like you, sir?
He has a son, who shall be flayed alive, then anointed over with honey, and set upon the head of a wasp's nest, where he stand till he be 3/4 and a dram dead. Then recovered again. Then raw as he is, will be set against a brick wall, the sun looking with a southward eye upon him, where he is to behold himself with flies blown to death. Tell me, for ye seem to be honest, plain men, what you have to the king, and being something gently considered, I'll bring you where he is aboard. Tender your persons to his presence. Whisper him in your behalfs. Here this man shall do it.
And it like you, sir, to undertake this business for us. Here is what gold I have. I'll make it as much more, and leave the young man in pawn until I get at you, huh?
After I have done what I promised?
Aye, sir.
Come. We must to the king to show him our strange sights. He must know she is not your daughter nor my sister. We are gone else.
I'm courted now with double occasion, gold, and the means to do the prince my master good, which, who knows how that may turn back to my advancement. Bring these two moles, these blind ones aboard him. To him will I present them. There may be matter in it.
Something's lost and something's gained in living every day. I've looked at life from both sides now, from win and lose, and still somehow it's life's illusions I recall. I really don't know life.
Like sorrow. No fault could you make which you have not redeemed. Indeed, paid down more penitence than done trespass.
Whilst I remember her and her virtues, I cannot forget my blemishes in them, and so still think of the wrongs I did myself, which was so much that ereless it hath made my kingdom, and destroyed the sweetest companion that e'er man bred his hopes out of.
True, too true, my lord. If one by one you wedded all the world, or from the all that are took something good to make a perfect woman, she you killed would be unparalleled.
I think so. Killed. She I killed. I did so, but thou strikest me sorely to say I did. It is as bitter upon thy tongue as in my thought. Now, good now. Say so, but so.
Not at all, good lady. You might have spoken 1,000 things that would have done the time more benefit and graced your kindness better.
You are one of those that would have him wed again.
If you would not so, you pitied not the state, nor the remembrance of his most sovereign name. Consider little what dangers by his highness's failed action may drop upon his kingdom, and devour uncertain lookers on.
There is none worthy respecting her that's gone. Besides, the gods will have fulfilled their secret purposes. For has not the divine Apollo said, is it not the tenor of his oracle, that King Leontes shall not have an heir till his lost child be found? Which is all as monstrous as to our human reason as my Antigonus, to break his grave and return again to me, who on my life did perish with the infant. 'Tis your counsel, my lady, the heavens should be contrary to, oppose against their will. Care not for issue, the crown will find an heir.
Good Paulina, who hast the memory of Hermione, I know in honor. Oh, if ever I had squared me to thy counsel, then even now I might have looked upon my queen's full eyes, have taken treasure from her lips,
and left them more rich for what they yielded. Will you swear to never marry again but by my free leave?
Never, Paulina. So be blessed, my spirit.
Then, good my lords, bear witness to his oath.
You tempt him over much.
Unless another, as like Hermione as is her picture affront his eye.
Good madam.
I have done. Yet, if my lord will marry again, give me the office to choose you a queen. She shall not be as young as your former, but she shall be as walked your first queen's ghost. It shall take joy to see her in your arms.
My true Paulina, we shall not marry till thou bidst us.
That will be when your first queen's in breath again, and never till then. My lord, one that gives out himself Prince Florizel, son of Polixenes, with his princess, she the fairest I have yet beheld, desires access to your high presence.
What with him? His approach so out of circumstance and sudden tells us 'tis not a visitation framed, but forced by need and accident. What train?
But few, and those but mean.
His princess say you with him?
Aye, the most peerless piece of earth I think that ere the sun shone bright on. Oh, Hermione, ma'am, you yourself have said and writ, she had not been, nor shall she should be equaled. Pardon, madam, this is a creature would she begin a sect might quench the zeal of all professors else, make proselytes of those she but bid follow. How? Not women. Women will love her that she is a woman more worth than any man. Men that she's the rarest of all women.
Go, Cleomina, and embrace them for us. Still, 'tis strange she should thus steal upon us.
Had our prince, jewel of children, seen this hour, he would have fared well with this lord. There was not a full month between their births.
Prithee no more, cease. Thou knowest he dies to me again when talked of. There, come. Your mother was most true to wedlock, Prince, for she did print your royal father off, conceiving you. Were I but 21, your father's image is so hid in you, his very heir, that I should call you brother, as I did him. Most dearly welcome. And your fair princess, goddess. Alas, I lost a couple that twixt heaven and earth might thus have stood, begetting wonder, as you gracious couple do. And then I lost all mine own folly, the society, amity too, of your brave father, whom I desire once more to look on him.
Well, by his commands have I here touched Cecilia, and from him give you all greetings that a king at friend can send his brother. You whom he loves, he bade me say so, more than all the scepters and those that give them living.
Oh, my brother, good gentleman, the wrongs I have done thee stir afresh within me. Welcome hither. You have a holy father, a graceful gentleman, against whose person, so sacred as it is, I have done sin, for which the heavens, taking angry note, have left me issueless. And your father's blessed, as he from heaven merits it, with you, worthy his goodness. What might I have been, might our son and daughter now have looked on, such goodly things as you?
Most noble sir, that which I must report will bear no credit were not the proof so nigh. Please you, great sir, Bohemia greets you from himself by me, desires you attach his son, who has fled from his father, his hopes, and with a shepherd's daughter.
Where's Bohemia? Speak.
In your city. I now came from him. I speak amazedly, and it becomes my marvel and my message. To your court, while hasting in the chase, it seems, of this fair couple, meets he on the way the father of this seeming lady and her brother, having both their country quitted with this young prince.
Camillo hath betrayed me, whose honor and whose honesty till now endured all weathers.
Slay it, so did his charge. He's with the king, your father.
Who? Camillo?
Camillo, sir. I spake with him, who now has these poor men in question. Never saw I wretches so quake. They kneel, they kiss the earth, forswear themselves every time they speak. Bohemia stops his ears and threatens them with diverse death and death.
Oh, my poor father! The heavens that spies upon us would not have our contract celebrated.
You are married?
We are not, sir. Nor are we like to be. The stars I see will kiss the valleys first. The odds for highs and lows alike.
My lord, is this the daughter of the king?
She is. When once she is my wife.
That once I see by your good father's speed will come on very slowly. I'm sorry, most sorry you have broken from his liking.
Beseech you, sir. Remember, since you owe no more to time than I do now. With thought of such affections, step forth mine advocate.
I will to your father. Your honor not overtaken by your desires, I am friend to them and you. Therefore, follow me, and mark which way I make. Come, good my lord.
Blazing on a sunny afternoon. Beseech you, madam, were you present at this relation?
I was by at the opening of the fardel, and heard the old shepherd deliver the manner how he found it, whereupon, after a little amazedness, we were all commanded out of the chamber. Only this. Methought I heard the shepherd say he found the child.
I would most gladly know the issue of it.
The changes I perceived in the king and Carmelo were very notes of admiration. They seemed almost with staring on one another to tear the cases of their eyes. There was speech in their dumbness, language in their very gestures. A very notable passion of wonder appeared in them. And the wisest beholder, who knew no more but seeing, could not say if the importance were joy or sorrow. But in the extremity of the one, it must needs be. Oh, here comes a gentleman who happily knows more. The news, Rogero!
Nothing but bonfires. The oracle is fulfilled. The king's daughter is found. Such a deal of wonder has broken out in this hour that ballad makers cannot be able to express it. Here comes the Lady Paulina's steward right now. She can deliver us more. How goes it now, ma'am? This news, which is so like an old tale that veracity is in suspicion, has the king found his heir?
Most true. The mantle of Queen Hermione, her jewel about the neck of it, the letters of Antigonus found with it, the majesty of the creature in resemblance of the mother, and many other evidences proclaim her with all certainty to be the king's daughter. Did you see the meeting of the two kings?
No.
Then you have lost a sight that was to be seen, cannot be spoken of. There you might have beheld one joy crown another, so and in such manner that it seemed sorrow wept to take leave of them, for their joy waded in tears. Our king, being ready to leap out of himself with joy of his found daughter, cries, "Oh, thy mother, thy mother!" Then begs Bohemia forgiveness, then embraces his son-in-law. Then again worries he his daughter with clipping her. Now he thanks the old shepherd who stands by like a weather-bitten conduit of many kings' reigns. I never heard of such an encounter which undone description to do it.
What, pray you, became of Antigonus that carried hence the child?
Like an old tale still, he was torn to pieces with a bear. This avouches the shepherd's son who has a handkerchief and some rings of his that Paulina knows.
What became of his bark and his followers?
Racked the same instant of their master's death and in view of the shepherd, so that all of the instruments that aided to expose the child were lost even as it was found. But oh, the noble combat betwixt joy and sorrow that was fought in Paulina. She had one eye declined for the loss of her husband, the other elevated that the oracle was fulfilled. She lifted the princess from the earth and so locks her in embracing as if she would pin her to her heart that she might no more be in danger of losing. One of the prettiest touches of all was when at the relation of the queen's death, attentiveness so wounded his daughter till she did, I would fain say, bleed tears.
Are they returned
for
to
I am
the court?
sure my heart wept blood.
Are they returned to the court?
No, the princess, hearing of her mother's statue, which is in the keeping of Paulina, a piece many years in the doing and now newly performed by that rare Italian master Giulio Romano, he so near to Hermione hath done Hermione, that they say one would speak to her and stand of hope of answer. Thither with all greediness of affection are they gone, and there they intend to sup.
I thought she had some great matter there in hand, for she had privately twice or thrice a day, ever since the death of Hermione, visited that removed house. Shall we thither and with our company piece the rejoicing?
Every wink of an eye, some new grace will be born. Let's along.
Now, had I not the dash of my former life in me, I brought the old man and his son aboard the Prince. But 'tis all one to me. Oh, here come those I have done good to against my will, and already appearing in the blossoms of their good fortune.
Come, boy. I am past more children, but your sons and daughters shall all be gentlemen born.
See you these clothes? Say you see them not, and think me not gentleman born. Give the lie, do, and try whether or not I am gentleman born.
I see you are now, sir, a gentleman born.
I, and have been any time these 4 hours.
As have I, boy.
So you have, but I was gentleman born before my father. For the king's son took me by the hand and called me brother. Oh. And the 2 kings called my father brother. Oh. And the prince my brother. And the princess my sister called my father father. And then we wept. And those were the first gentleman-like tears ever we shed.
And we shall live, son, to shed many more.
I humbly beseech you, sir, to pardon me all the faults I have committed to your worship, and offer me your good report to the prince, my master.
Pray, son, do. For we must be gentle, now that we are gentle men.
Thou wilt mend thy life?
Aye, and I like your good worship.
Give me thy hand. I will swear to the king that thou art as honest a true fellow in all Bohemia.
Thou may say it, but not swear it.
I will prove so, sir, to my power.
Hark! Kings, princes, and our kindred are off to see the queen's picture. Follow us, we will be thy good masters.
Great and good, Paulina. The great comfort I've had of thee.
What, sovereign sir, I did not well, I meant well, but that you and your crowned brother and these your contracted heirs of your kingdom vouchsafe my poor house to visit. It is but a surplus of your grace, which never my life may last to answer.
Oh, Paulina, we honor you with trouble, but we came to see the statue of our queen.
As she lived peerless, so her dead likeness. Therefore I keep it lonely, apart, prepared to see life as lively mocked as ever, still sleep mocked death. But behold and say, 'tis well. I like your silence. It more shows off your wonder. But yet speak. First you, my liege. Comes it not something near?
Her natural posture. Chide me, dear stone. And I may say indeed thou art Hermione. Or rather, thou art she and I not chiding. But yet, Paulina, Hermione was not so much wrinkled, nothing so aged as this seems.
So much more our carver's excellence, which let's go by some 16 years and makes her as she lives now.
As now she might have done. So much to my good comfort as it is, now piercing to my soul. Oh, thus she stood, even with such life of majesty, warm life as now it coldly stands when first I wooed her. I am ashamed. Does the stone rebuke me for being more stone than it?
Give me leave, and do not say 'tis superstition, that I kneel and implore her blessing. Lady, dear queen, it ended when I begun. Give me that hand of yours to kiss.
Oh, patience. The statue's newly fixed. The color's not dry.
My lord, your sorrow was too sore laid on. which 16 winters cannot blow away, so many summers dry. Scarce any joy did ever so long live, no sorrow but killed itself much sooner.
Dear my brother, let him that was the cause of this have power to take off so much grief from you as he will peace up in himself.
Indeed, my lord, if I had thought my poor image would thus have wrought you, for the stone is mine, I'd not have shown it.
Do not draw the curtain.
No longer shall you gaze on it, lest your fancy thinks anon it moves.
Let it be. Let it be. Would you not deem it breathed? And that those veins did verily bear blood?
Masterly done. The very life seems warm upon her lip.
The fixture of her eye has motion in it, as we are mocked with art.
I'll draw the curtain. My lord, so far transported, he'll think anon it lives.
Oh, sweet Paulina, make me to think so these 20 years.
Sir, I am sorry I've thus far afflicted you. I could afflict you farther.
Still, methinks there is an air that comes from her. What fine chisel could ever yet cut breath? Let no man mock me, for I will kiss her.
Oh, good Lord, forbear. The ruddiness upon her lip is wet. You'll mar it if you kiss it. Stain your own with oily painting. Shall I draw the curtain?
No, not these 20 years.
So long could I stand by and look her on.
Either forbear, quit the chapel presently, or resolve yourself for more amazement. I'll make the statue move indeed, descend and take you by the hand, but then you'll think, which I protest against, I'm assisted by wicked powers.
What you can make her do, I am content to look on. What to speak, I am content to hear. For it is as easy to make her speak as move.
It is required you do awake your faith. Then all stand still, or those that think this is wicked business I'm about, let them depart.
Proceed! No foot shall stir.
Music, awake her, strike. It's time. Descend. Be stone no more. Approach. Strike all that calm marvel. From him, dear life redeems you. You perceive she stirs. Start not, you hear my spell is lawful. Do not shun her, for then you kill her double. Nay, present your hands. In youth you wooed her. In age is she become your suitor?
Oh, she's warm. If this be magic, let it be an art lawful as eating.
She embraces him. She hangs about his neck. If she pertain to life, let her speak too.
Aye, and make manifest where she has lived, or how stolen from the dead.
That she lives, a word but an old tale should be hooted at. But it appears she does live, yet she speaks not. Good madam, turn, our Perdita is found.
Oh, you gods! Look down and from your sacred vials pour your graces upon my daughter's head. Tell me, my gnome, where hast thou been preserved? Where lived? How found thy father's court? For thou shalt hear that I, knowing by Paulina, that the oracle gave hope thou wast in being, have preserved myself to see the issue.
Go, you winners all, partake your exhalation to everyone. I, an old turtle, will wing myself away to some withered bough, where my mate, that's never to be found, lament till I am lost.
Oh, peace, Paulina. Thou shouldst a husband take by my consent. This is a match, and made between us by vows. Thou hast found mine. I saw her as I thought dead, and have said many a prayer upon her grave. I'll not seek far. For him I partly know his mind, to find thee an honorable husband. Come, Camilla, and take her by the hand, whose worth and honesty is richly noted, and here justified by us, a pair of kings. Let's from this place. Ah, this, your son-in-law, and son unto the king, whom heaven's directing is troth flight to your daughter. Good Paulina, Lead us from hence, where we may each one leisurely demand an answer to his part performed in this wide gap of time, since first we were dissevered.
Imagine me and you, I do. I think about you day and night. It's only right to think about the girl you love and hold her tight. So happy together.
I can roll the rock, every night. You say you belong to me, and in my mind, imagine how the world could be so very fine, so happy together.